I heard there was a story where at one of the premieres, of course, when you put a whole bunch of us together in one room for some reason, I don't know why we have to always get confrontational, but I heard there was a little conflict where somebody got mad because somebody didn't want to stay for the end credits and a fight broke out. Black people, I'm talking to you as your brother. Please, if you go support this movie, man, don't go in there and act a fool, okay? Act like you have some sense, like you got a mama. Alright, so I peeped Black Panther last night. Finally. Man, busting all kind of nerdgasms all the way to the movie theater, man. My heart was pumping. I'm like, damn, I can't believe this is the moment. This is actually happening. This is more than a movie. This was an event. So I'm coming at you with the spoiler-free review. I have a spoiler talk coming later on, but I had to do my spoiler-free review. And already on YouTube, I see that everybody that I watch, everybody that I follow, has got their review up, man. So I'm one of the last ones to put something up. So, hey, man, better late than never. My first impression on Black Panther. I really love this movie, man. I love this movie. It lived up to my expectations. As Cinnamon Sins would say, no movie is without sin, okay? This is not a perfect movie. There were some things that I had problems with, but the things that I liked about it overshadowed what the problems were. So, more than being a movie, this was a political message. There were a lot of political messages in this movie, and not force-fed down our throats, but more of, you know, okay, this is what's going on. Wake up, people. Just like your boy said on School Days, which I just reviewed. Wake up! What I loved about this movie, the fact that it's an MCU movie, but it didn't feel like an MCU movie. It was its own thing. Like, the problem I had with a lot of MCU movies is that it just sets up for the next one, which sets up for the next one, which sets up for the next one, instead of just being its own thing. This film did not feel like an MCU movie. It felt like its own entity, its own universe. And Wakanda, like, I was totally engaged with Wakanda and the look of Wakanda. Like, Ryan Coogler made this movie look beautiful. The lighting, the scope of the place, it was just beautiful. The characters were on point. This movie is called Black Panther, and it does not just center around Black Panther. What made this movie special also was the support that he got from the other characters. I cannot pronounce her name to save my life. I think it's Lupita, whatever her name is. All right, she was great in this movie as the spy / love interest of T'Challa. Danai Gurira, oh my God, Michonne. Look, I loved her as Michonne. I really fell in love with her in this character. She was like 10 times more badass as this character. I don't know her name of the character in the movie. I know that she was like his main warrior, like his main guard, and man, did she kick ass. And I do want to point out, and I'm being a man, okay, so I'm not trying to be a perv, but am I the only one that noticed that that Michonne's turkeys were done throughout this movie? Yeah, there was a whole lot of nipping action with that suit she had on. I don't know if that was intentional or what, but yeah, and I had no problem with it. Yes, I can look at done turkeys all day. Andy Serkis as Claw, he was a little over the top. I don't want to say overacting, but you can tell he really had fun in this role. He had fun playing Claw. We didn't get a whole lot of him, but it's just, I don't know, man. Like, I didn't mind his character, but I thought it was just a little over the top. It was a little cartoonish almost. But the real villain to me was Eric Killmonger. Michael B. Jordan crushed it as Eric Killmonger, and I wish we could have got more of him. We didn't get a whole lot of Eric Killmonger, and it's unfortunate because when Michael B. Jordan was on the screen, he crushed it, he killed it. I loved him as a villain, and he wasn't a clear-cut villain. Like, he wasn't like pure bad guy. Like, when you see his motive and see why he was doing what he was doing, it made sense, and in a way, I want to say I kind of rooted for him. But then I didn't, you know, because at the end of the day, he is a bad guy, but you really understood it and you felt why he felt the way he felt and why he was doing what he was doing. And I think that makes for a perfect conflicted villain, and he really killed it. The girl, I don't know her name, the girl that played his sister, the one that made all the weapons and You know, made like she was almost like Lucius Fox was the Batman. Okay, that's what she was to Black Panther, and it was his little sister. And I love that it was a family affair. She was great. She was funny. She damn near stole every scene that she was in. Like I said, this movie, even though it's called Black Panther and Chadwick Boseman is the lead, it's the characters around him that really made the movie special in addition to him. So just a perfect blend of just great characters throughout. Chadwick Boseman was really good as Black Panther. Even though he was a king, he wasn't like this perfect, you know, this perfect hero. The thing with superhero movies is, okay, the superhero always has a lot of shit going on with them, and it's always like, you know, but even though it's cliche, but it worked, because when we saw Black Panther in Civil War, he was almost a perfect hero. Like, he really had no flaws. He was always serious. He was always like, you could see nothing wrong with the character. But in this movie, he fights his own demons, and he has to deal with some stuff from the past that comes to haunt him. You know what I mean? So it was cool to see him transition from starting out as a king to now, like, I'm the king. The action scenes were really good. Now, the things I'm gonna nitpick about, there were some pacing issues. There were times where this movie did slow down some, and I'm like, okay, can we like pick this back up again? But, you know, other than some pacing issues and some scenes that did kind of lose me a little bit, other than that, I thought the payoff was good, man. The action scenes worked perfectly. The CGI, it's hard to mess up CGI on a character that's fully black, so there were some scenes where I could tell it was CG, but it wasn't bad at all. I thought the CG was on point. There are some scenes with some rhinos where the CG was kind of a little suspect a little bit, but, you know, that's just me nitpicking. That's the only problems that I had. But as much as I want to love this movie, I do love this movie. It did meet my expectations, but I'm not going to sit here and say this is the best film ever made. This is just God's gift to film. Nah, man, the movie did have some flaws, it did have some problems, but the good outweighed the bad, so I really enjoyed the hell out of this film, man. I'm gonna wrap this up, man. I'm gonna give Black Panther a solid A. So far, best film of 2018. Love this movie, man. Can't wait to see him play Black Panther again. Can't wait till Infinity War. Stay to the end credits. There are 2 end credit scenes. Check them out, man. Comment below what you thought about Black Panther. What did you think about it? Comment freely. Don't forget to subscribe. This is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.